Hey, my RecTech family, Darren George, DRG Custom Carts here. Did a little quick video for you today. It'll be at the end of this. We unboxed the Bullseye cart, assembled it. I pulled a little Jody and a bend today and tried to put it together on camera so you could see just how long it would take you to put it together. It's really simple, really easy. I think probably from unboxing and put together it took me 20 minutes. It may take you a couple minutes longer only because you do have to drill the holes in the tube on the Bullseye to actually mount it to the cart. I didn't do that step, but I did show you exactly how to do it. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm hoping that the website goes up live today. I do ask that you please bear with me. I've never built a website before. I have no clue how this is going to work. So just be patient with me. We will eventually get there, I'm sure. I'm having an incredible time. I love working, building things for RecTech's grills, from the 680 to the 700s to the Bullseye to, I can't wait to get my hands on a Stampede because I got a couple things I want to work on with the Stampede that's going to really help everybody out that owns one, that wants a cart for it. So hopefully we'll get there. I'm hoping that 2018 is just a banger year for us. So other than that, I want to thank each and every one of you for standing behind me and supporting me and pushing me into this endeavor that I'm really having an incredible time. This is just absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about the RecTech organization. Their products are incredible. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, and I'm proud to be building something that's just as good a quality. So other than that, I love you guys. I hope you enjoy the video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. And like I say, please bear with me with the website. I'm hoping everything goes smooth. When it goes up live today, these carts will be available. I think there's 5 of them on there that's set to be available at $2.99 with free shipping. We also will be posting the cart that I built for the Bull, the one-of-a-kind stainless steel cart, and also the 680 standard cart will also be on there for sale. Just bear in mind, we've always had an issue when it comes to the bigger carts because of shipping. The shipping on those is just, it's way out there for someone that is anywhere outside of like a 500-mile radius from me. The price just kind of skyrockets. I totally understand that, and I'm so sorry that if you live on the West Coast and you would love to have one of my carts, I would absolutely love for you to have one, but I totally understand why, based on the cost, you couldn't get one. But hey, if you're ever planning on taking a driving trip and coming into Maryland or anywhere close this way, I'm sure we could hook something up. Other than that, I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and standing behind me and making this dream come true. I can't wait to see where our next chapter takes us. But until then, smoke like the rest, but roll with the best. See you, my friends. Well, hello, my RecTech family and everyone out there in YouTube. We finally made it. Of course, I do have a couple little issues I'm going to have to go over with you. But I want to do a little video just to show you pretty much what the Bullseye cart's going to look like when it comes to you. And I want to go over how to assemble it. So you can see it's going to be extremely simple, really easy, and it's going to just take your Bullseye smoker to the next level. So as you see here, one of the problems we ran into was I ordered boxes in order for these to be shipped, and I don't know what the mix-up was, but the boxes aren't big enough. So I just placed an order for some more boxes. They're supposed to be delivered to me hopefully tomorrow or the next day, but they're coming out of Pennsylvania. And they had severe snowstorms up there, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get them. But as soon as I get them, I will get these out to you guys. But this is the way it's going to come. It's going to be in a cardboard box like this. And hoping you could see, everything's going to be bubble wrapped. You're going to come with 2 panels, which are going to be the front and the back. Like this. You're just going to unpackage it. Obviously your front panel And then you're going to have your rear panel. Trying to wrap these up in bubble wrap to keep them as protected as possible. So you're going to get your front and your back. And I want you to take note, you're going to notice on the backs of them, you're going to see a letter A, or there's going to be a green dot on it, or something. I haven't really come up with exactly what I'm going to mark it with, but it's because these are all hand built. They're not stamped out by a machine. Therefore, you have to have a front and a back. If you don't line them up right, the screw holes probably won't line up right. So you'll notice, I'll explain to you as we go along how you line those up. The next piece that's going to be in is going to be your bottom grate, your shelf. Basically, you can just set that to the side. You're not going to need that right away. The next piece you're going to be taking out is going to be your skeleton or your frame. And as you're taking this apart, you're going to see this stuff is extremely heavy duty, all welded construction. This thing is going to last you a long time. So you can set that aside. Then you're going to have two triangles. These are actually the A-frame supports for the front and the back. And like I said, I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but on this it has a letter A sticker on it, so you know this is the one that goes to the A side when you go to assemble it. So you're going to have your front and your back like these. And again, I just can't say enough about how thick this material is. It's just when you get it, you're going to see this is not something you buy from Home Depot or any big box store. I mean, for something that's just a cart, this thing is just extremely thick and durable and heavy duty. You're going to love it. Then you're going to notice your wheels are going to come wrapped up like this. And they're just locked in position for shipping, so they didn't move around in the box. And then you also have to bear with me. I don't have nice bags yet, so you're going to find one bag of 1¼ bolts with the washers, nuts, and everything all on it. You're going to find a bag that has the stainless steel number 10 screws, which basically is what holds the entire thing together. And then you're going to have a bag that's going to have 4 3/4 inch bolts with the washers and nuts, and I'll show you where those go in a minute. So we can move this out of the way. And basically all you're going to need to assemble this is going to simply be 2 either 11mm wrenches or 7/16. Either one, the sizes are so close, but you're going to need 2 of them. And a Phillips screwdriver. Basically that's all you're going to need. You're going to start off with assembling the wheels onto the frame. So let me just move these out of the way. You're going to start out with your frame. And when you get the frame, you're going to notice that it's made out of 1-inch tube steel. And you're going to notice that in the corners there are steel reinforced gusset plates that are welded in. Well, those also have a bolt hole in it that the wheel bolts to. That's where the short bolts go. That's why there's only 4 of them. There'll be 1 in each wheel. So if you just pour out your bolts, both your short and your long. And if you think when you look at these that they look like the bolts are used, you're absolutely right, because your cart, part of these being custom, is that they are completely built, assembled by me, then taken back apart, sanded down, painted, boxed up, and sent to you. Therefore, the bolts are the actual bolts that bolted it together during its assembly. We all understand what quality assurance is. Well, in normal factories, when they do quality assurance, they may pick one from a group of 100 that's being made that day, and they'll pull one, they'll go over it, they'll check it for imperfections, make sure everything lines up, everything's good. Here, because I do this by myself, every single cart is assembled by me, tore back apart by me, painted, boxed up, and sent to you. So I'm sure when you get it, everything will line up the way it's supposed to. So what you're going to do is put the bolts up from the bottom. So take your wheels, put your bolt in it, and I found it extremely easy to bolt these together. If you take the wheel, unlock it, if you turn the wheel so it's straight and the plate is parallel to it, and lock the wheel down, that gives you access to all 4 bolt holes, makes it extremely easy to put together. So all you're going to do is put your bolt, your short bolt, through the steel plate. Put your flat washer on, your lock washer, your nut, and just finger tighten it, and then work your way around to put in the other 3 bolts. And like I said, coming up from the bottom with each one, they'll line up with the holes in the frame. Put your washer on, your lock washer, and your nut. Continue that all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera. Get that bolted together. It's that simple. 4 bolts for each wheel. You can't put the wheels on backwards. They'll only go on one way. So I'll be right back. All right, my RecTech family. It's been about 5 minutes. That's about how long it took me to bolt all the wheels on. You can see I got all 4 of the wheels bolted on. Really heavy duty. I'm going to show you here on the frame. Hopefully the camera will focus. You'll notice here on the front, right here, you'll see a letter A. And like I said, this will either be like a green dot, or there'll be some form of a indicator on there to let you know where the front is. Well, when I say front, what I mean is, because when this is assembled, the holes are drilled, it's not a fabrication like a machine doing it to where every single hole is in the exact same spot and you can use the front panel as the back panel. Well, you can't do that with these carts. Your front panel is your front panel, your back panel is your back panel. Obviously the front one is going to have the bullseye on it. But you'll notice that A, and from your front panel you'll notice the A will either be on the left side or the right side. This A corresponds with the A on the frame. So if you got your frame sitting like this and the A is on the left, when you put this panel on, it goes on that side with the A on the side that has the sticker. You don't put it on this way, you may find that the bolts don't line up. So what you're going to do, the easiest way I found to do this, especially if you're just one person, is take out the screws. All the holes for the screws have already been pre-drilled, pre-fitted, so the screws screw in really easy. So what I do is set the frame, or set the side panel. Let me turn this around so you can see it. I set the side panel like this on the ground and just raise up the one side, stick the screw in your panel, and you can line the screw up with the frame. And you can put that screw in. And like I say, these have all been pre-drilled, pre-tapped. The screws go in really nice and easy. Once you have that one in, you can set this up on its side. And the only reason I do that is it's a little hard trying to fight the bottom and line up the screws if you're doing this by yourself, and obviously, as you know, I work by myself. So you just line up all the holes. And as you know, I have power tools here, and I could just be zipping these screws in and just moving right along, but I wanted you to kind of have some form of an idea of just how long this takes and how hard it is. Once you get the front and back, pretty much the panel holds itself. So like that. And then you're going to do the same thing for the back. Just sit it on the ground. Put your first screw in. Line it up with the frame. And then just go along, tighten up those screws. Alright, once you have those all together, you're going to look down on the frame and you're going to see where that A is. And on these two A-frame supports, on the back of one of them, you're going to have either the letter A or there's going to be like a green dot sticker or whatever, but that way you know which one goes on which end. And with this, it's just as simple as putting your first screw in the top, lining it up, and you can literally screw it in with your fingers. Put the one in the bottom. So just put in your top and bottom on the front and back panel. Like that. And you can screw them together. Then you can go back and put the rest of the screws in. The holes should all be perfectly lined up. I would suggest that you really put these together by hand with a screwdriver versus using a screw gun, only because sometimes the torque on those screw guns can strip a hole before you have a chance to actually stop hitting the trigger. So it's a little easier to just do it by hand. Believe me, they go together really easy. Because like I say, this particular cart here has probably been put together and taken apart 6 times. You know, probably a couple times during the modification stage, and then come apart to be painted, and then I put it together to take the photographs to post them on Facebook. And then I took it apart earlier today so that I could box it all up and show you how it's going to come to you. So once you got that side on, you're basically going to do the same exact thing on this side. Like I say, just stick your screw through the top, line it up with the A-frame. And like I say, you could partially screw it in by your fingers. That'll literally hold it there. You can put your bottom one in. Do the same thing on the other side. All right, and then draw those up. Now bear in mind, this cart weighs a little over 30 pounds by itself. So not only is this raising your incredible Bullseye grill up to, I think it was a working height of 37 inches, which is just an incredible height, but it is also giving a lot of stability because of the weight distribution. So it's just, the cooker of the Bullseye is just, as you all know, it's incredibly built, it's heavy, but the carts is just where it just takes away from it. Now, bolted on this, you'll know you're wheeling around a quality product. Not just my cart, but also the Bullseye. So this will be the last screw. And that's it. So now you can unlock the wheels. Now you have an incredible Rectech Bullseye cart, and you can slide your bottom rack right in. Drop it right into place. Now you have plenty of room for storage. Now let me turn this around and I'm going to show you how to put the Bullseye into the cart. As you notice, these stick up and you have a cutout here, and I've already pre-drilled the 4 holes, which that's how all the carts are going to come, with the holes on the cart pre-drilled. You do not have to put all 8 of the bolts or screws into the cooker if you don't want to. I suggest doing it only because it's just, you'll never have to deal with it again. You could get away with just putting 2 like across from each other, and it's not going to go anywhere, because really they're just holding it from seesawing. The weight of the Bullseye sitting down in this cutout, it's not going anywhere. But to me, once I assemble it, I never want to have to go back and tighten up screws again or deal with anything coming loose. So now you have the Bullseye, and I'm going to assume that you bought a new Bullseye, but if you didn't, it does make it a lot easier if you take the lid, the grates, everything off of the smoker, empty out your pellets, flip the smoker upside down like you're going to do to remove the legs, take the legs off, the couple screws that it takes to remove the factory legs, and this is what you're going to wind up with. I'll just show you. This is what you're going to wind up with. This is basically the Bullseye, but as you can see, the legs have been removed. There's nothing on the inside. If you flip it over where the legs bolted before, that part of the Bullseye is just basically the support tube. There is nothing in it or on it where you're going to be drilling your screws that you're going to damage anything on your Bullseye. That is basically just a shield that protects the auger tube, which runs down the center of this big square. So what you're going to do is just turn it over, and you can get somebody to help you do this if you want. And that square tube where your wheels were bolted, your legs were bolted before, just sits right down in, just like that. And then I'm going to show you, bring you up closer. I'm hoping you could see, right here is where the 4 holes are. What you're going to do is, the bottom of this underside actually rests right against the bottom of your cook tank. This top piece just needs to be set level, just like this, with the tube. And then you're just going to drill your 4 holes and put your screws in. What I would suggest is drill 1 hole, put a screw in, turn it around, do the same thing on the other side, then come back and put in the remainder screws. Those screws will be included, as well as the drill bit for drilling this particular hole to make sure you get the size right. All right, well, other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that was informative and you understand just how simple and easy it is to take your Bullseye to the next level. That's all there is to it. So hopefully I'll be able to get the website up today. I do have the website done. I do have everything ready. I have the 3 units sitting here ready to be sanded and painted. This one being the 4th one. But we did run into a problem with the boxes. They were too small. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I did order some new boxes. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, but they're saying due to severe weather in PA, it may be delayed. But as soon as I get those, I will get them out to you. Just bear in mind that this is a custom cart shop, that, you know, these are not mass produced. You know, so it takes me a few days from running around picking up material and everything else to be able to get these even started. And then it takes several days for me to cut them, fit them, weld them, put them all together, get them painted, to even get them boxed up and out. So I hope you bear with me on that. Hopefully we'll be able to get up to speed. You know, as time goes on, we'll be able to buy more bulk material. The only drawback that I have to my carts, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you up front, I wish I had the ability to powder coat these. That's the only drawback that I have to my particular carts. Unfortunately, as you know, this was not started to be a business. I'm excited that it is. I'm having a great time. But because of that, financially I can't afford to buy an oven big enough to be able to bake these to do the powder coating process. But I'm hoping that someday in the near future that will be possible, and then I'll be able to offer these with a powder coated finish on it, which will just completely match the Bullseye, plus any of the other grills and accessories that we're going to be doing, because 90% of what you buy that deals with grills, most of it is powder coated because it withstands the heat a lot better. The only thing you may notice on my carts is what I'm going to be doing with the paint job. On this one, obviously I didn't do it, but on the other ones, this top part that actually bolts to the Bullseye, this is going to be painted with the 1200 degree heat paint. The rest of the cart is going to be painted with a paint that can withstand 400 degrees. But that's because the cart itself doesn't get hot. This part does, because this part is bolted right to the bottom of your fire pot. So it does get hot. So I really wanted to try to preserve this paint as best as I possibly could. So that's why I was using the 1200 degree grill heat paint. So other than that, thank you guys so much. I'm having a great time. Hopefully this is a huge success, and we have a lot of people with a new Bullseye cart from DRG Custom Carts. I think that's about it. That wraps it up. Before I go, I love you guys, and remember, smoke like the rest, but roll with the best. See you, my friends.